Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video I'm going to be sharing some new details for the Book of Boba Fett, so let's dive into it. As many of you know, I have a couple of sources who've reached out to me in the past about the Andor series and the Book of Boba Fett. I've not shared anything specific, although I have hinted at a few things in the past. I tend not to reveal anything major that my sources tell me, and I've certainly not been a scooper in the past. Having said that, I will be revealing more and more as the series draws near. But let's begin with the most recent details that were given to me. The other day I reported on the Star Wars Newsnet article that claimed that Boba Fett will be sporting a new armor that is different to the one that we're used to seeing him in, both in the original trilogy and of course the new coat of paint that he has in The Mandalorian. But according to my source, the Boba Fett armor change rumor was greatly exaggerated. While it's true that Boba's overall look is not going to be identical to how he looked in The Mandalorian, the changes that we're going to see in the Book of Boba Fett are going to be as minor as an upgrade in the coat of paint. Boba Fett already got a new polished look in The Mandalorian Season 2, but once more he is going to have some adjustments, but not a change in armor, and nothing major is going to change. For one thing, Lucasfilm want to make sure that audiences still recognize Boba Fett with his iconic green armor, and it makes no sense for Boba to undergo complete change to how he presents himself to the galaxy. But that is not the only update that I have for you guys. My source also commented on the rumor that flashbacks are going to be a central part of this series. They confirmed that this is true and went on to say that Robert Rodriguez went all out with flashbacks from between episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back and episode 6 Return of the Jedi. And with that said, and here is the big scoop, it's believed that Jabba the Hutt and Darth Vader are going to appear in flashbacks. Now let's address each one of these characters individually. My source mentioned that with Jabba the Hutt, they cautioned that it might be a Hutt more broadly rather than specifically Jabba. If it is Jabba the Hutt, then obviously it has to be in flashbacks, but it could be Rotta the Hutt or any surviving Hutt. This makes perfect sense because Boba just inherited Jabba's palace after killing Bib Fortuna, and some of Jabba's surviving family members might be after him. They might feel as though the palace is rightfully theirs and they're out for inheritance. But having said this, my source tells me that they are leaning towards the fact that it is Jabba the Hutt in flashbacks, mainly because of the amount of history that exists between Boba and Jabba, both in the original trilogy and of course in the recent War of the Bounty Hunters comic series. So along with this, as I said, I've been told that Darth Vader himself is going to appear in flashbacks to when Boba Fett was hired by him in The Empire Strikes Back. It's not known if Hayden Christensen had any involvement, but it is possible. Back in May we got word that Hayden Christensen shot multiple scenes for different series, and not just for Obi-Wan Kenobi, so it is possible that the Book of Boba Fett was one of them, although since flashbacks to Vader would not be helmetless, I don't see why they needed Hayden. But either way guys, Vader is playing a role in this series. To back this up, some pictures of early mock-ups of toys and games that have been provided to toy companies under the Lucasfilm name have seen Darth Vader appearing with Boba Fett for the Book of Boba Fett merch line, coming out between this winter and early next year. So that is very exciting indeed. As I say my friends, everything I revealed in this video is directly from my source, who I can verify is as legit as it gets, and the character scoops are very logical. They make sense in the context of the Book of Boba Fett, since it is a series set to have lots of flashbacks. This is not by any means the typical sort of news update that I do on my channel, because I'm not a leaker and I tend not to scoop things, but this is a one-off mainly because I'm very confident about this news and I trust the source and the evidence that he provided me. So be prepared for not only lots of original trilogy callbacks and flashbacks, but also for some big cameos as well. I do know some more things which I'm certain I cannot speak about, but this December you'll find out for yourself when the show drops. Robert Rodriguez really wasn't kidding when he said that this show is going to blow our minds, and it over-delivers. If you thought The Mandalorian Season 2 was full of great fan service, then you don't know what you're in for. As with all Boba Fett news guys, I've covered pretty much every rumour and report there's been over the last few months. And if you want a big summary of all of it, I made a video the other day compiling everything we know so far, so go check that out. I talk about characters, rumours, directors, plot details and speculation. And just before I go, I don't think enough people realise just how important the Book of Boba Fett is going to be for the legacy of Star Wars. We're talking about one of the most iconic legacy characters who's been so much of a mystery for decades. He first appeared in the 1978 holiday special and then made sporadic appearances in the original trilogy. While Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars animated series gave him some backstory, The Mandalorian Season 2 is the only place that his character has been properly explored. So in a massive way, the Book of Boba Fett is going to give OG Star Wars fans something they've wanted to see ever since the franchise began. This series is going to mean so much to so many people, and I'm so grateful to Lucasfilm for it. I know it's been a bumpy ride for Star Wars fans in these recent years, but now we're moving into what I call the golden age of content. We're finally getting stories that we've been begging for years, not only with Boba Fett, but also with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, The Mandalorian, which gave us a post-Return of the Jedi Luke, the Ahsoka series, and so much more. What I'm saying is, whatever your thoughts are on Lucasfilm and what's been going on in recent times, I urge you to have hope for the future. I try to keep as positive an outlook as possible on this channel because when it comes down to it, I love Star Wars. I'm a massive Star Wars fan and you guys are as well. I may not have loved everything that was put out, but knowing how bright the future of this franchise is, I really can't help but be over the moon. And with creatives like Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, Jon Favreau, Robert Rodriguez, and so many others at the wheel, we really can't go wrong. And it starts with the Book of Boba Fett, which is just 3 months away. I think we're going to get some kind of trailer next month, but right now I'm just trying to keep myself calm from all of this excitement. But that, my dear friends, brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new and a huge welcome if you are. And I also want to highlight my second channel, Meg's Cantina, and that is where I post all of my Star Wars music mixes and ambience videos. I'm a composer and musician and I post lo-fi mixes, ambient mixes and much more. Every mix is to do with Star Wars. I've made mixes for Endor, The Bad Batch, Boba Fett and so much more. I will give you another demo to play us out, but otherwise I'm Megan, also known as Star Wars Meg, and I'm wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.